Okay, ladies and gents, so what's going on here? Welcome back to another recap. So, the LA Kings season is over. Kings, we had a 3-2 opportunity. A 3-2 series opportunity against the Edmonton Oilers and put it away in Game 6. And I don't get how we didn't put away the series in Game 6 because we obviously could have beaten the Oilers in Game 6, but we dropped that one. And now in Edmonton, we dropped Game 7. So, overall, listen, man, first things first about this game is I don't want to hear anybody put this game on Jonathan Quick. Jonathan Quick was the only Kings player that actually was trying today, to keep the game scoreless as much as he could and, help keep the Kings in contention. And unfortunately, it makes you really appreciate us having Jonathan Quick because without Jonathan Quick, Oilers, I'm personally convinced that they would have swept us in 4 games if it wasn't for Jonathan Quick, because really, these last 2 games, Kings, they really have struggled offensively. It seemed like we could never get any momentum over the Oilers. It seemed like that we could never just get a lead over him, especially in these last 2 games. Like today, Kings, we really struggled offensively. Like our offense today, it was nowhere to be seen. It just wasn't, and it's really a really heartbreaking loss because this is obviously Dustin Brown's last season with the Kings. So obviously, I really thought that Dustin Brown was going to go and run off into the sunset with another championship. Hopefully, I thought this was going to be 2012 and 2014 again, but unfortunately, I was wrong. And the Oilers today, they just were able to find the back of the net. So I don't know what else to say about that, except that in these last 2 games, we offensively really struggled. We couldn't really get any goal scoring momentums. And if you want to be able to win over a team like the Oilers, you've got to be able to score first on them and then, learn how to put your chances away. Because that's what I feel like the Kings really struggled at today, was just them not being able to put their chances away against Edmonton. And the really frustrating part about this loss is, obviously the fact that we had a 3-2 series lead. We were in a great position. I thought that the season has already, the momentum has shifted to us, but unfortunately, I was wrong on so many levels. And all we just needed to do was score, and we couldn't even do that. So, yeah, man, very tough way to go out for the Kings, especially in the first round. And now, we have a lot of question marks this offseason, particularly who's going to be able to fill in the void left by Dustin Brown, because I personally think that, replacing a guy of Dustin Brown's talent and, his just his overall play style might be pretty darn impossible for the Kings. Now, obviously, the best player for us, I think, this entire season would probably have to be I have to say Adrian Kempe. I'm super optimistic for the 22-23 season, especially with Adrian Kempe. I'm hoping we can, build around him, much like how we built around Anze Kopitar and Dustin Brown when we first got him. But obviously, speaking of Anze Kopitar, I'm fairly confident he's going to return back to the Kings for next season. But obviously, the bright spot on our team is Adrian Kempe, so he's the one that I'm going to be looking forward to watch out the most for next year for the Kings. And now it just sucks that this series did not go the way how I thought it was going to go, because while I did expect it to go to Game 7, I thought we were going to be those road warriors and maybe find a way how to beat the Oilers in their own house. And unfortunately, we couldn't do that. And just offensively today, we struggled. We struggled offensively. What else is there to say? We couldn't find the back of the net. And against a team like the Oilers, we looked so good in game, what was it, Game 5. Yeah, Game 5 against the Oilers. We looked really good against them. I think that was, without a doubt, our best performance against them, and we couldn't even get the momentum going, man. 3-2 series lead against the Oilers, and we squandered it. It seemed like for a second there that the Kings were in control of their own destiny, and that control, we really just shifted it back to the Oilers, because, it's like we didn't show up tonight. Simple as that. We just could not show up at all in Game 7, and now, obviously, we're now going to have to figure out who's going to be able to fill in that void left by Dustin Brown, and that's what I think is going to be the toughest part for us. And obviously, we still have Jonathan Quick on our team, so that's good. if, like I said before, I think Jonathan Quick deserves the most credit today for the Kings. He was the only Kings player that I think played well, not just today, but I think in Game 6, because the rest of our players just really underperformed, especially in Game 6 on that last goal that we conceded when we pulled Jonathan Quick, from the net for as an extra attacker. Like, that was really stupid. I don't know why we did that, but it really bit us back. And now, just who do I want to win the Stanley Cup? I honestly have no idea, okay? But yeah, just a really tough way for the Kings to go out. Arguably, one of the most heartbreaking playoff losses I've ever witnessed in my life as a Kings fan. Possibly being the most heartbreaking playoff loss, mainly because of just the fact that all we had to do was win one more game. We should have closed the Game 6 out in Los Angeles, and we couldn't do that. So I don't know what it is right now, but I'm hoping, obviously, they say there's next year and all that, but I mean, really, we still have a lot of work to do, because this is a fairly young team, because we have, I think, one of the youngest NHL rosters. So I think this is going to be a great learning experience for the Kings. But I really had my hopes up super high for the Kings, especially since the Lakers, they disappointed this past season. I mean, without a doubt, this was, in my opinion, the most disappointing season as a Lakers fan. And for the Dodgers, I'm hoping they can, go above 500 again and make a push for that World Series. So, and I was hoping the Kings could win the Stanley Cup, especially in Dustin Brown's last year. But unfortunately, that's not what happened. But I still want to thank Dustin Brown for the memories in LA, winning those 2 cups in 2012 and 2014. At least you could say we have something to show for it, especially, with us being able to successfully build around Dustin Brown and Anze Kopitar. That speaks for itself with those 2 cup wins. But now, man, obviously, we're just going to have to find a way how to build around Adrian Kempe. So that's all I got to say, because, Anze Kopitar, he's getting older, so we're going to have to get younger again. And I think that this series is going to be a great learning experience, since we have, I think, one of the, like I said before, I think we have one of the youngest rosters in the NHL. So, obviously this Oilers team is really experienced, but I'm just glad that we were able to put up a fight against the Oilers, and now we're just going to have to go back to the drawing board and hopefully get our crap together for next season. So, yeah, that's the video. Go Kings, go. And just a really tough loss. We should have had a Game 6.